Man, I've been working with him for about a year now, maybe a little over a year. And yeah, dude, he's a man. Pete Sugarfoot Cunningham, he's like an 8 or 9 time world champion. He's like 50 in one draw, 50 and 0 in one draw, or something like that, something crazy. And yeah, man, I added him. We added him. I got lucky. He just happened to be at the gym I was training at like a year ago, and he was like, "Oh man, this kid got some hands, blah blah blah." And then so like now we just been working, man, just working. Striking is my striking has definitely reached new levels with him.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. February 19th, you're back in action against Chad Anheliger. What are your thoughts on the matchup, and then what are your just thoughts on him overall?
Man, I think it's a good matchup. I think we match up really good, honestly. Both like to get in there and strike, like to box. It seems like watch his fights. It seems like he really just likes to box, which I mean I'm happy to oblige with that because I consider myself more boxing heavy, even though I do a lot of kickboxing myself and jujitsu and ground. But I love to box, man. I'm a big fan of boxing, so I think this is why I say, man, this is a good fight for the fans because it's one that's gonna have a lot of action for sure. And then I think I match up really well with him, just because I don't know if he's boxed somebody with boxing before. I know he's fought guys, good guys, tough guys, but I mean, I come from a boxing heavy gym and background, so it's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, let's get deeper into the boxing, your side of boxing. You know what I mean? I love to talk about the past. So, where did you start, like the beginning of boxing? You know what I mean? Just putting on those gloves. Was it when you were a kid, like fighting like neighborhood kids, or what was it?
You know what, man? We used to do that, but that was like that's what it was. It was just like there was like no technique. It was just gritty, like to put on the gloves and the man, we used to sneak boxing gloves into high school and do it in the bathroom. And after school, man, we used to, yeah, like I remember boxing when I was a small kid. It was at my birthday party. We just had two mismatched pairs of gloves, and I remember, man, all of the kids were just taking turns just beating the crap out of each other. So I mean, that was kind of like the introduction. And then just, man, I was such a big fan of like Muhammad Ali growing up. Just like, I love sports, but like how he was so impactful in really worldwide. And he was, boxing. So I didn't really get into boxing like actual doing the sport of boxing until later, probably like 19. And then the gym I ended up going to, SoCal Five Factory, man, they just threw me in with all these pro boxers. And so like literally I'm just an MMA fighter, come from wrestling and jiu-jitsu. And then, man, just from that though, like from all those hard sparring sessions and sparring with those tough dudes, and getting cracked, like, oh, that was a slick move. Okay, let me keep that one down. I know that one works. And then just, man, just improving over the years by being thrown into that kind of Shark Tank type of training. I mean, dude, I remember we'd be bloody, noses are. I know now that people probably would be like, man, those guys are crazy, dude. But that's how we did it. That's how we did it at that gym, and man, they still do it like that. So still boxing heavy over there. And then I got Peterson grapplers who, man, wrestling, jujitsu, and then my new kickboxing coach who I've been working with, 8 time world champ, Sugarfoot. Man, Sugarfoot Cunningham,
Okay.
dude, he's a genius when it comes to that kickboxing stuff too. So I got a really solid team, man.
Yeah, definitely. There's something to be said about earning your stripes inside of a high school bathroom, and putting on those gloves and just no rules and just slinging
I'm
them
telling you.
things.
I'm telling you, man. You yeah, in the high school bathroom, man. You come out a changed man. You're slanging up against the wall and up against the stall. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a you earn a reputation like that, man.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. And yeah, let's talk about Sugarfoot, man. Is that somebody that you just added recently, or is someone that you've been working with for a while?
Man, I've been working with him for about a year now, maybe a little over a year. And yeah, dude, he's a man. Pete Sugarfoot Cunningham, he's like an 8 or 9 time world champion. He's like 50 in one draw, 50 and 0 in one draw, or something like that, something crazy. And yeah, man, I added him. We added him. I got lucky. He just happened to be at the gym I was training at like a year ago, and he was like, oh man, this kid got some hands, blah blah blah. And then so like now we just been working, man, just working. Striking is my striking has definitely reached new levels with him.
What do you think he's tweaked on you? You know what I mean? Because a guy like that, they could kind of watch you for a couple sessions, and then they'll be like, "All right, let's tweak this a little bit. Let's move this over here." And then what you know, without revealing too much, but what has he changed?
Yeah, you know what, man? Most of all, like the thing that he brings to the table is he's a guy who has competed at the highest level and maintained his record at the highest level, and then he's still humble enough to go, we got to take from this guy. We're gonna take this guy. We're gonna take from this guy. We're gonna take some boxing from Canelo, some combos from Ernesto Hoost, some combos from Robbie Common and Deckers. Like he's a guy who has every right to go, no, you got to do it how I say it. But still, even though he's like, nah, we're gonna take from all the best guys in the world. So I think the best thing that he's brought to my game is my mentality of just taking everything that works. That Bruce Lee mentality of take what works, throw out what doesn't.
You're still a young guy, but you knowing guys like Deckers and Ernesto Hoost, and even Cunningham, because I think guys that are like in their, you know, like maybe just starting out, maybe in their late teens or 20s, they have no idea who those guys are.
No, man, again, taking it back to high school, junior high, like I just loved fighting. So like I would legit be online looking at studying these guys, watching them fight, whether it was for street fights or self defense or whatever. I was watching these world champs just to be able to defend myself. So
That's crazy.
I'm definitely like a fan of all the sports, the whole aspect, Muay Thai, karate, Taekwondo, any kind of striking style, boxing. Like I love it all. Just a fan.
LA seems like it's like a mecca for, you know, everybody points to Las Vegas, but I don't know. LA seems like a mecca for boxing too.
I agree. I agree, man. We got a lot of tough gyms out there. A lot of Freddie Roach's gym is out there. Some tough dudes from Mexico City have some gyms out there. So yeah, and then all the in betweens who have learned from them. Man, everybody for some reason wants to live in California, wants to live in Southern California. I mean, I get the weather, so I mean that's probably has something to do with it. That probably does.
All right, let's go back to your opponent, Chad. He earned his contract on the Contender Series, and did you get this? Did you get a chance to watch that fight? And what did you think of the performance?
I did watch it. I thought it's good, man. I think he's a tough dude for sure. He's tough. He's tough, and he's got some slick stuff up his sleeve that we're preparing for the best we can. And that was a strange fight to watch, man. Because it was pretty close. It was pretty close in my opinion, and I had a lot of guys come up to me saying the same thing. But I mean, man, you earn it, and I'm just excited to test myself against this guy, man. He's on a 9-fight win streak, so I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, he definitely earned that contract
Yeah.
against Gaffarov. Man, it's been around 11 months since you made your UFC debut. We spoke ahead of that. You know, you took on a dangerous dude, one of the most dangerous dudes in the division in your debut, which is wild, you know, and it didn't go your way, but where was the mind at after that fight?
Okay, man. Now we get a camp, and now we can do it right. I had to do. I honestly, man, that fight, I still feel like I take that fight again, and I love that fight, man. But some little mistakes were made, and I paid the price for it. But honestly, man, I really don't. I take the loss, have a short memory. Boom, I'm back in there like nothing happened. Like I love it. I love this game, and I love the lessons that I get taught and how much better I get after it. So definitely be looking for that again down the line for sure.
Yeah, and you're supposed to come back in August against Mana Martinez. What happened with that fight?
Yeah, man. So I was trying to get this UFC contract. We were in talks. We're trying to get in there, and then man, dude, I tore my knee, and so I just basically rehabbed it back myself, man. I was taking collagen and doing rehab exercises and CBD and icing it and taping it up, and then man, we finally got that call for that fight, and I was like, yo, I think I can make it hold up, and we took the fight, what happened, and we got this other fight, Mana, and then dude, the knee just was not holding up. It wasn't. It was just giving out every chance it had, and then boom, had to get a quick little surgery. They just cleaned me up a little bit, and then now I'm back healthy and feeling really good about it.
Nice, nice. Did you ever get a chance to go out to Vegas and get some tests done at the PI?
I didn't get any tests done. No, no.
Mhm.
I've been out there and they've worked on me a little bit and everything like that. But I do want to get some. I do want to hit that UFC PI, get the test done, the athlete test.
Yeah, see where you kind of stack up in the
I
division, right?
I really do. Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to see that.
See the science working. You know, I'm so intrigued by that, by all the testing that they do, and like how it results into like you making adjustments and maybe just diet or whatever, you know, because they give you suggestions on what to do.
100%, man. They got. I mean, it's top of the line over there. It's like there's no. I mean, and they want you to perform the best. So they're like, have it all, whatever you need.
The
So
last couple of weeks, I've been watching your stories, and you've been kind of going off on like diet and like giving advice about like just to regular people, not even to athletes, just regular
not.
people on what you should
Yeah.
be doing when you eat and how that will be so much more beneficial for just your life in general, man. What sparked that?
Man, dude, I've always been like a huge fan of nutrition. Like I've been obsessed ever since I started wrestling in high school. So like I've always been obsessed, always had a passion for nutrition. And then just man, over the years, and then especially this pandemic hitting, and just really it's attacking like people who are obese with diabetes, underlying conditions. And I'm just like I'm really passionate about helping with what I can do. And I'm like, yo, you guys gotta stop drinking this soda, stop eating this processed food, eat whole foods, like exercise, move, just so I can try to motivate some people, man. And I've had some really good response lately, man. I have a like a more of a harsh little mentality of like of tough love, but like that's what I feel like people need to hear, man, because man, it's crazy, dude. It's taking people out, and especially here in the U.S., man, obesity rates are through the roof, and I don't like that. And I don't like seeing kids who are obese. I feel like that's not good. I feel like that's not good for our future and for my future children. I want a better world. I want to create a better world. And if that's one person at a time, man, if that's one person who takes some little bit of advice to just go start walking, go get in that sun, do some activities, whatever it is. Just start taking care of yourselves. That'll cause a chain reaction. I'm hoping so.
Yeah, well, man, it hit me home, you know what I mean? Because I put on some weight during the pandemic era. So I've been out there, you know, the past couple of weeks trying to get some runs in. It's hard, man, when you first start getting going. But like they say, you just got to put your shoes on and step outside. And that's the first steps.
100%, 100%. It's hard. It just go outside, get that sun,
Hmm.
man. Even if it's walking, I always tell people, just you don't gotta go run a marathon right now. You don't gotta do that. Just get started. Just get started. Like you said, just put your shoes on.
Yeah.
Just put your shoes on.
Well, man, you're heading into this fight with the full camp, all systems go. What type of performance are you expecting out of yourself?
Man, I'm expecting a performance of the night for sure type of performance. I'm coming. I mean, I'm coming in shape, prepared in all areas. So like, I'm really looking to put a mark in. And I didn't get my chance to really represent myself like I wanted to that first fight. So I'm just really excited to get in there and have a fight and have a fist fight and get physical and make a show for the people, man. Make a show for the fans, for UFC fans, for fight fans around the world.
Definitely. A few questions outside the fight, man. MMA fans, they're wild, man. They're crazy. You know, you've experienced them over the years. What do you think fans obsess about too much that fighters don't care about?
Oh man, dude, I think fans, man, that's a good question. Dude, I think I think fans they don't a lot of fans don't really understand strategies. They don't understand that. They're like, man, if I was him, I would have just threw a guillotine, or I would have just done this. And it's like, dude, you don't understand. Maybe that guy's really good at defending that, so he couldn't, or maybe he was looking for something else. It's like there's strategies involved, and I encourage fans, and I'm like not trying to bash fans at all. I encourage you learn more, go start training, start learning. Like, oh, this game gets deep. Like this, there's there's a lot of things to it. Like, I mean, dude, for instance, you might be trying to pressure a guy just to wear him out. You might be just trying to do that. And a guy's like, why is he just running right into these punches? Like, dude, you don't understand this. This is gonna pay off later in the fight, or these low kicks, or just man, body shots. Like little things pay dividends throughout. Just I encourage fans to learn more, go start training, start feeling how it feels like to do a round, whatever it is, wrestle, jiu-jitsu, some boxing. I encourage you to try it out and feel it out and see just how difficult imposing a strategy with somebody somebody else has a strategy against that. So it's like I would just really recommend go get educated, go do it.
Yeah,
And
education is key.
it's everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I say go start with jujitsu because I'm telling people, regular people, you don't know what it's like to get hit in the face, and someone's trying to hit you in the face, and you're trying to duck punches, and then you're getting hit, and it's like, I remember one time I got punched in the jaw, and I felt like there was internal bleeding down my jaw, and I was like, no, stop. You know what I mean? Like,
You're like, yo, forget that armbar right now. I'm just trying to stay awake. Yeah. No, seriously, it gets deep. There's some things when you're in that fire that you're like, okay, that's not realistic.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. You know, it's funny that fans, like, sometimes I'll watch stuff with people, and I talk to fighters all the time, so I know exactly what fighters go through. I just haven't experienced it myself, but I'm gonna change that soon. Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh, I'll just step back and hit that left cross." You know what I mean? Why did he hit the left cross? You know what I mean? Like, I would have done that like Adesanya, and I'm like, "You're not Adesanya, fool."
You don't know how many thousands of times that dude practiced that specific thing. Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
So
Another thing is like weight cuts, man. Fans get so crazy about weight cuts, and it's like, dude, sometimes one little thing will throw off a whole weight cut. It'll throw it off, and fans are relentless, man. I like fans are like, they don't care. They don't want to hear your excuses.
Yeah.
They're just like, you need to move up then. It's like, bro, I was an ounce away. Like, I was like, you don't understand.
Yeah, that's also a science too. You know what I mean? One little misstep and it could throw you off. I've seen it. You know what I mean? You eat a nut. I heard somebody just eat one nut and that threw them off on their weight cut because that sodium or whatever.
Sodium, yeah, sodium is crazy. And then cutting sodium too early is crazy. It'll bite you too. So it's like, it really is a science. Yeah. It really is a science.
Speaking of weight cuts, man, there's like fighters, they go through like terrible weight cuts. Sometimes, they have these wars in the cage. Injuries can affect them differently. PTSD from things like that. Do you feel like it exists in combat sports?
Yeah, I think it could. I think for sure it could. I think you could have a bad weight cut and you're like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I can make it. I don't know if I could do it. But yeah, there's only one way to find out. Go through it again. But yeah, for sure. Like, I know for sure people deal with that with knockouts. Like people deal with that, and you know what? That is a scary, dangerous thing. Like I feel like if you do get knocked out, you do need to heal up. You do need to take some time, and depending on how bad it is, you need to take some time and heal up. But yeah, like people have trouble like just pulling the trigger again after that. Like I've seen people, they get knocked out and then like they never fight the same again. Like they're totally different, which sometimes you do have to adapt your game,
Yeah, I've seen it too, I mean, and I think a lot of going back to the fans thing is a certain fighter gets knocked out and then they continue to get knocked out. I don't know if it's mostly like it could be the chin, but it might not be. It might be just them not being able to pull the trigger again because of the PTSD that they faced from the first like bad knockout.
100%. Yeah, I could totally see that because, man, yeah, it could be the chin. It could be maybe you did come back too early. Maybe, man, your brain's just like, made that defense mechanism, and now it's easier and easier. But, dude, when you're not pulling the trigger on your stuff, that's when you get set up. When because not committing on something is when you're in trouble, is when you're in danger. When you commit, I mean, you could get countered for sure. But if you don't commit, you will get countered.
One last thing, man. Outside of fighting, good or bad, what usually keeps you up at night?
Man, outside of fighting, what keeps me up at night? I'll tell you right now, eating bad food. Dude, eating poor food, that will ruin your sleep. If we're talking about other stuff, man, what keeps me up is man, just the food industry in general,
Yeah.
man. I feel like we could do so much better. I feel like we could put some quality ingredients in our foods, and companies just choose not to. Companies just choose not to. But you know what? I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna make some noise. I'm gonna make some changes. We're gonna make a better world.
Yeah, I could see a future for you in like nutrition or meal prep or something, man. I could see you doing that.
100%. I'm gonna get into all of it.
All right, man. I look forward to it. February 19th, man. Before all that happens, you get to go in there and do what you love, man. UFC Fight Night in Las Vegas. Thank you, Jesse, for the time.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it.